Welcome to part two of doing this headliner. Unfortunately, we've had to, well, not unfortunately, but we've had to actually, we couldn't film it while we were doing it because you actually need two pairs of hands, if not three pairs of hands, to put these liners in. How Tom from Total Car Reviews put it in on his own, I don't know. He must have struggled, or he's a contortionist, or he must be super fit running around the car. But anyway, so we've put it in. A couple of things have come up from it. You can see that these bulldog clips are on it. I'm sorry they were coloured, but you can't get those big long ones that you used to get. I can only find these things. So what we've done is, as you can see inside, we've just popped it in tonight, and you can see, like Tom, they all need stretching out. So what we're going to do is we've put a bit of stretch in it tonight, and then tomorrow, once it's stretched out a bit, we'll start getting it all in place. There seems to be, I suppose there's a lot of different methods of doing this, but it ends up being, as long as it looks nice and it's tight and it's not saggy, the job's done. One thing we did find is this stuff, as I said on the first one, is really good, but if you see, it's got a bit of a sheen on it. So what we might do is we might put some kind of tape over it that's dull and not got so much. It's got a bit more friction on it, if you like, because it's a bit easier for the cloth to slide over it. But I think what we're going to do tomorrow is get the front one absolutely straight, the bow straight, and then put these clips back on again, and then work from there to the back. Because what happens is when you're pulling in different directions, so I think it's probably better to set up the front bow, let the others go loose, set up the front bow, and then bring them all up in place. One of the other tips I can give as well is, you saw on the first video we put them all in. Now, what we did find is if you turn them round for whatever reason, you put them on the ground and you turn them round, they can look at the wrong angle. So when you do put them in, make sure they are absolutely central. Because of the way they pivot, if you turn it around, if it doesn't look straight, turn it round first. So if you take the rod, just turn the whole rod the other way and see if it fits better, because it's actually the way they pivot that makes them go up straight. And then make sure you insert them the same way. So that's what I did. We got them all straight. I then took them upstairs and into one of the rooms where I had it laid out, and then I put them in. There is quite a bit of cutting to do on these. You can see some of these are pre-cut and some are not. We had to cut some of them, and they say you should stick these back together afterwards once you get it torn. So we'll see how it goes tomorrow, but it's only been in about 35 minutes, but we seem to be getting there, so that's what we'll do tomorrow, work on that. And just to let you see, these hubs we redid, and you can see now the pull on that is exactly the same on each side. So we just had to do redo the shims a little bit. So this really is the time to do it, as you can see. So I'll put this one on and show you. And you can see that the pull on that is the same on both. It's around about 14 kilos, so that's about 7 to 8 pounds of pull. As you can see, this door's on as well now. Really nice gapping on it, but we spent a lot of time doing that. And somebody mentioned, I haven't replied to it yet, but somebody mentioned, you can see that it's absolutely flush all the way. Somebody mentioned something about these. I don't know if they were talking about these ones on the side, on the scutcheons on the bits on the side, or they were talking about this bottom one. There are many different types. There's a type that is like rubberized and it's black and you can knock it on, and then there's a plastic style one which has a bit of a kind of edging on it, a kind of dimply type thing. Now the problem with them is they're easy enough to go on, but they actually trap the water. So what happens is actually the rainwater goes down the back here, and it traps water onto the sill edge all the time. This is why the sills are always bad, or not the sills, but the edge, the welded flange is always bad down the back there. They're always rusted. This is why they rust in these places. So this is one good thing about this. If you look on the side where the rubber is, the water, and they're slightly angled. If you look, you can see there's the rubber, so when the water comes down, it'll come off there because it's got a slight angle on it. So I think that's an even better way of doing it. And as I say, the doors look really nice. Really good finish on them. So, as I say, we're going to finish this up tomorrow. We'll pull it, get it stretched. I don't know how long Tom, I think it was some periods of days, maybe 2 or 3 days. I don't know how long he left it before he got all the stretch out of it, but he did get it all out and it looks great. But anyway, so that's what we're going to do. So to finish up, I had another comment from something, because they hadn't looked at the previous videos. This is this boot flap, and you can see that this is sprung loaded here. It just needs a catch on it, and that's the idea behind it, is that obviously the tank comes out to about this point here, and the idea is when the wheel's in the boot, you can see all the rubbers are in. When the wheel's in the boot, it will sit straight like that. And I measured this, and you can actually get suitcases in there. In fact, I have a feeling it might take more luggage than any other Mini. Okay, not 4 people, 2 people and lots of luggage. And I'm going to actually do a little test and see how much it will actually take in there. So yeah, that's really it. Sorry we couldn't show it, but you know, it's very hard to hold this thing up and use one hand for the camera. So and you wouldn't have seen much on a tripod. But we will go over it, and there's a second Mini to do all this all over again anyway if you missed anything, but there's plenty of videos out there. Yeah, just to finish up for the Jag guys, I've just made this metal piece for the door. You can see here, so there's that section in there, and that'll be welded in. And what I've done actually is, I'll show you now. I'll take this off so you can see it. So you can see this is not actually welded together. So what I've done is I've made a section there, which is that piece. It's got to be thinking up, but you can see it's that piece there. So that's that edge, and it all just clips together. And then the same here. I'll have to put the camera down a second just to show you. Hopefully I won't knock anything over. You can see that comes out. Now all I have to do now is clean up there where I've done the welds on the back of it, clean that up, and then here you can see where I've made this edge, and now I'll cut these little bits so they sit square. You can see they're actually folded over each other at the moment, so I'll put a little tiny cut in there so that the radius is perfect on that corner, and then I'll repair this. As you can see, it's a bit rotten there and here, so that's what we intend to do. So I'll be doing some work on this over the next day or two, and hopefully all the parts that I've got for the Mini we'll put in, and then obviously we'll have to stop when we run out of parts. But I'm hoping to have the engine back within the next 10 to 12 days, and obviously we'll film that going in. But we'll build up what we can with the original parts and reconditioned parts and new ones. And we'll go from there. And tomorrow we'll see how we get on, or the next day, and I'll take you underneath so you can actually have a look at the underside of the car. But you can see it's, I don't know if you can see it, but you can see it's looks pretty damn nice under there. So anyway, thanks for watching in, and we'll talk to you tomorrow or the next day. Take care. Bye for now. Bye.